When it comes to the unsustainability of the fast fashion industry, including industrial accidents at garment factories and sweatshops, everyone blames fast fashion brands. Indeed, fast fashion brands are the major and big institutions that are responsible for unsustainable supply chains. But it appears that fast fashion brands are not the only responsible ones. And this video will be dedicated to the other major stakeholders that the average sustainable and responsible fashion supporter has not heard of. Hello everyone, this is Asef Sorbekova and welcome to my channel where I help you understand matters of sustainable development and fast fashion the legal way. So who is the other one that is to blame? Without further ado, let's get it started to find out who it is. In order to dwell into the matter, let's remember the saddest fast fashion industry accident of all times, the collapse of the Rana Plaza building. Rana Plaza was a 9 stories building that collapsed and left more than 1,130 people dead and hundreds others injured. Mr. Sohail Rana, the owner of the Rana Plaza, was found guilty in August 2017, for accumulating property and money through corrupt practices. That is 4 years after the collapse of the Rana Plaza. At the time of the verdict, Mr. Rana was facing numerous charges such as murder, corruption, violation of labor, and other laws. Furthermore, a year later, in 2018, his mother was sentenced to 6 years of imprisonment in a case filed by Anti-Corruption Commission for hiding wealth information. So basically, pretty much the same scenario. The Rana family people, mother and son, were found guilty on account of corruption, not murder, meaning on the ground of hiding assets, undeclaring their wealth. Now, strictly speaking, the grounds on which they were found guilty have little or nothing to do with the actual death of the people. But furthermore, in July 2016, a court in Bangladesh formally charged 38 people with murder in connection with the Rana Plaza accident that happened in 2013. But let's not get into that. This video is not about these convicted persons. This video is about other people that were not convicted. The people that were left behind the scenes, people which were directly or indirectly involved, or could have been found guilty for the accident, for the Rana Plaza accident. And those people are called in international law as foreign direct investors. Foreign direct investors are people, individual people or legal persons, that is companies or multinational enterprises that go from country A, the country of their origin or country of their establishment of the institution, to country B to invest in a certain sector. So that is a term, if you want to understand what is a that is a definition of what is a foreign direct investor in a very simple explanation. Bangladesh's ready-made garment sector is predominantly a foreign direct investment-based industry and a key contributor to the country's economic growth. It makes up to 80% of the country's export earnings and is a major employer. What does it have to do with the Rana Plaza accident or the whole fast fashion industry, the ready-made garment industry in the countries like Bangladesh, China, India, etc.? What I'm trying to say is that the reason I brought you the example of the Rana Plaza accident is that the Rana Plaza building was partially owned by foreigners. It was not only owned by Mr. Sohail Rana and his family. It was owned by other foreigners. So that Mr. Sohail Rana was not the only elephant in the room that could have been found responsible or guilty for the Rana Plaza accident. But everyone in the story of the Rana Plaza collapse, the building collapse, everyone blamed the Rana family and notably Mr. Sohail Rana. And apart from this family, of course, we know that the world blamed the fashion brands that had their clothes produced in the Rana Plaza building. It is clear that to satisfy the public's attention, to satisfy the need of the masses, the masses that have only known of the external situation, such as that the building was owned by the Rana family. It is clear that the Bangladeshi government needed to prosecute its own citizens, such as Mr. Sohail Rana and others. Although I do not exclude that there could have been some other foreigners among the 38, but that was not really made into public. Well, there is a principle called investor protection or investor guarantees, and any foreign state, host state that has housed these foreign direct investors would need to protect their interests to no matter what, sometimes. And the Bangladeshi government, fearful of its future economic development, was afraid of the decline of the foreign direct investment into its ready-made garment industry, the cloth industry, which is one of the most important economic sectors that brings a lot of money into the Bangladesh economy. And in order not create the precedent of publicly naming and shaming foreign direct investors, foreign enterprises, what the government of the Bangladesh did was to not publicize the information on the involvement of foreign investors into the Rana Plaza building. Possibly the government and the involved foreign direct investors might have had a meeting behind closed doors, but that is not the information that we are aware of as of today. What we are aware of is that there was a significant pressure on the fast fashion brands that produce their clothes in the Rana Plaza building and overall in Bangladesh, but that is not enough, of course. So it appears that the government simply did not want to scare away other potential foreign direct investors at the time and the existing ones. Because here's an interesting situation that has happened after the Rana Plaza accident. At the 5th anniversary of the collapse of the Rana Plaza building in Bangladesh, which resulted in the death of over 1,100 garment workers, investors have issued a statement assessing advancements made to improve worker health and safety in the Bangladesh apparel sector. Immediately following the collapse, the Bangladesh Accord on Fire and Building Safety was established by these foreign direct investors in the country as a model for collective action between brands and retailers sourcing in Bangladesh, as well as global and local trade unions and NGOs to inspect the country's apparel factories and implement necessary reforms to safeguard workers. Led by the Interfaith Center on Corporate Responsibility, the Bangladesh Investor Initiative, an investor coalition comprising 250 institutional investors, representing over 4.5 trillion in assets under management, was formed in May 2013 to urge a strong corporate response to Rana Plaza, including participation in the Accord, the above-mentioned Accord. Bangladesh Accord. Further in their engagements with companies, the investors made 4 main recommendations to fashion brands, such as to join the legally binding Accord on Fire and Building Safety, shortly Accord, signed by brands, retailers, unions, with NGOs as witness signatories, commit to strengthening local trade unions and ensuring a living wage for all workers, including through their engagement with the Bangladesh government, publicly disclose all their suppliers, including those from Bangladesh, ensure that appropriate grievance mechanisms and effective remedies, including compensation, would be in place for affected workers and families. In other words, investors have been pressing companies and their boards to take high road when setting prices to enable factories to pay fair wages and comply with workplace human rights standards, including freedom of association and collective bargaining. As you can see, after the Rana Plaza accident, the pressure was on the foreign direct investors, and that is why they came up with the Bangladesh Investor Initiative and the unheard. This is because more and more transparency has been demanded in the field of investing in a foreign country in light of the ongoing tendency to improve fashion and make it sustainable and to not lose businesses, and most importantly, not to lose a face in front of the public. That's why the foreign direct investors are trying to keep up with the pace. That's all for today. For videos on fast fashion and matters of sustainable development, subscribe to my channel and join me every Sunday by 10 a.m. CT. And if you like this video, press like, destroy the smash button, and leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, take care, and see you next time. Bye!